Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Faces Strategist and welcome back to Project Zomboid. In this video we'll be taking a look at farming, the skill, and I'll go into some details on how you can actually improve it and what it is actually used for. Now basically farming is a necessary skill that you will need to learn, and there's no should I learn it, should I put up with it, you need to do it. Why? Because you'll be able to plant plants into the ground and harvest them in order to eat them. Well, technically freeze them, then eat them. What you will actually need before you get to planting, you will need a shovel or a trowel, or I don't know why it's called a trowel, it's a fucking spade. And basically, with that, you will need seeds and you will need the farming books. And a watering can is recommended because it will save you a bunch of time. That is for beginner level farming. Once you have all of those things, what you're gonna want to do is just go ahead, right click, and you're gonna want to dig furrow, and that will create these lines here. Then you're gonna get your seeds, sow seeds. You're gonna, I don't know, put carrots or some shit in the ground. Then you're going to equip your watering can and just water it. You're gonna water it until you don't have the option to water it anymore, and you're gonna do that for every single crop. Now, where can you find the shovel, seeds, watering can, spade, trowel, etc, etc? You can find them in tool sheds, gardens, rural areas, tool actual storage houses, storage units. It all really depends. I found most of my seeds over here near the army depot, right, and over here in this rural area. You can also find seeds by killing zombies with overalls, because they're, I guess, designated as farmer zombies. Also, if you head on over here, these are like warehouses for food. I also found some seeds here. And over here, where there's a bunch of rotten food, that is the farmer's market, I actually managed to find a bunch of seeds as well. So that is how you start. You can also find them in houses as well, so it all really depends on your luck. Now, for shovel and spades, tool sheds, for watering cans, tool sheds and homes as well. Now, once you actually finish all of that, you will need gardening sprays. And sacks, that is bags. Once you actually get those compost bags, you can find in these large warehouses. There's a lot of them. There's like 4 of them over here. So this is the overall map. You're gonna want to head on over here. There are also a bunch of warehouses full of food items in this general area. So Riverwood is over here. Basically over here you'll find a bunch of them. It's sacked potatoes and stuff like that. Once you get that, you'll be actually able to take some dirt from the ground and plant crops on roofs as well. So if you build a building like this, you can actually start planting stuff up on the roof. And also you'll be able to take compost. Let's say this one is 59% full, and you actually make compost by throwing in a bunch of rotten food in it. Now you can use that, or if you find the NPK fertilizer, you'll be able to fertilize your crops. And basically by fertilizing your crops, you will gain a much more splendid harvest, and it will decrease the amount of hours before the plant is actually mature. And of course you will need the farming skill book 1 to 5. That will basically boost your XP gains. As you can see here, I'm nearly at level 6. Once I harvest these cabbages, I should be at level 7. And you only get XP when you harvest those things, not when you plant, not when you water, only when you harvest. Now once you're actually doing all of this planting, you're gonna want to dig all of this and plant when there's rain, because rain will water your crops, and if they don't have any diseases, they'll stay watered for a long ass time. See, this one was watered 43 hours ago. Same as this one. And it lost only 7 water levels out of 100. Basically, you get XP by how healthy your plants are. Now, this one isn't very healthy, and since I have a high enough farming skill, I can tell that it has pest flies. Pest flies basically dehydrate your plant. If it had meadow, it would give me less plants, that is a lesser harvest, and it will stunt the growth of the plant. Now you can combat this if you've chosen the farmer starting profession, basically, when you're creating your character, or by finding the where is that? Yeah, the farming magazine. Now you can find the farming magazine in libraries, schools, post offices, and bookstores, and also sometimes gas stations, but that's really rare. And basically, once you find that and read it, you'll be able to craft the flies cure. You will need a gardening spray can, which I told you can get, 5 cigarettes, and free water, which isn't really hard to find. And for the mildew cure, you will need milk. Now, milk, once the power goes out, goes rotten, but that doesn't matter because you can use rotten milk as well. Now, once you actually have the thingamabob, I'm just gonna give myself. See, this is for the cures. I'm just gonna go ahead and craft one. And since my level is not high enough to see how infected this is, I'm just gonna pop the entire can on it. Now let's just actually speed it up. I'm just gonna go into the info. Pest flies unknown, so it's most likely at 100. So I will need another one. So I'm just going to go ahead and treat it again. Okay, and if I go into info again, it doesn't have any diseases, but you won't be able to tell right away. So in order to actually prevent diseases, what you can do is actually space out your actual crops. So you're gonna go, for example, 3 crops this way, empty field, 3 crops this way. Or you can do the reverse, of course, whatever suits your fancy. And basically that will about summarize it. You don't want to harvest the actual crop until it's seed bearing. Now you can plant broccoli, cabbage, carrots, radish, strawberry, tomato, and potato. Now basically, if you have the choice to make of what you want to plant, I would recommend strawberries, even though strawberries are more likely to be infected with diseases. They give you a small happiness boost, and they're strawberries. It's nice. The next 2 items will be cabbage and carrots, because you can use them for trapping. Other than that, potato is a very good food source. But if you're looking speed-wise, definitely the cabbage. The cabbage grows the fastest out of all of them. But essentially, you're looking at a month of just waiting around for food. And not in real life, of course, but in game. So that is also something to consider. Now, okay, I covered that. I covered what you need. I covered what you get. I covered why you should level it. And basically at level 2, the current growth phase will show you the name. So basically you have a bunch of them. You shouldn't really worry about that. All you need to worry about is actually just keeping them watered. And you're gonna want to pray for rain. Now during winter, farming goes out of the window, obviously. During summer, the heat will actually dry up your plants. You will need more water. But I haven't actually reached summer yet. At level 4, water levels will become color-coded, and disease if present will show the name. And once you're hovering over the cursor like I am, it will give you the stats. At level 5, the current growth phase will show you a number as 1 through 7, and health will show you a number of 1 through 100. Water levels as well when you mouse over them, like I'm currently Displaying disease if present shows a number 0 out of 100, and at level, and that was a level 6. At level 8, the next grow phase shows the number of hours until it reaches that. And I believe that's about all the notes I had here. But basically, as soon as you get it, you'll need to plant it so you can have some food, and obviously get a freezer so you can preserve it for a long term. If you want to set up a garden roof, you will need a sack, a shovel, take some dirt, then go right up on the roof and plant it. And yeah, they'll basically do it. So remember, once it's at seed bearing, then you want to harvest it, and you'll gain the experience. And make sure you read the books, because those experience points are multiplied. So if I get 4, it will be multiplied by 8, for example. And yeah, make sure the zombies don't trample them. Build in an enclosed area. Don't just leave them out in a field or something. And yeah, that's basically it.